Hello, I'm Caydor.
And the video hasn't started yet.
Doesn't have to. We get a small intro.
That is exactly right. They should know who I am by now. I'm the cool one.
I'm not sure in any sense that is correct. Mainly because, so far, in what we've seen in the story, your first instinct is kill it with fire, even if it just mildly annoys you.
No? Where are we at? We're medieval 2?
Yeah, haven't quite started that yet.
No. I don't try to kill everything with fire. I didn't try to kill the guy in red with fire. I can't remember his name. I'm really bad at names.
Guy in red.
Yeah, he had a mangoche in one hand and I don't know what it was on the other. He was dual wielding. Fiddler on the roof? I don't know. That was French Revolution. Same spot you picked up the throwing knives. Even though you can't throw knives.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think there was a mangoche, though.
No? Paring dagger?
It was, a rapier and... I don't remember the name.
Mangoche would have been a pretty good one to have compared to the rapier.
It was... I know it was a parrying... some sort of parrying dagger sword. All I know is, even though it didn't make it into the book, you later said that you couldn't see why someone was fighting with basically two toothpicks.
Toothpicks.
No, it was... how you were pronouncing it is what threw me.
Ah.
Because it was mangoche.
Not a mangoche.
Yeah. Or at least that's how I pronounce it. It's probably not correct, but it's what my brain's filed it as.
So, anybody listening? I cannot speak French. Well, not very well. I can order food.
Je ne sais quoi.
And je ne sais pas.
Je ne sais quoi.
Exactly, I have no idea what
Well, je ne sais pas is just I don't know, and je ne sais quoi is I don't know what. So keep that in mind. Every time someone says it has some sort of je ne sais quoi, they're basically saying I have no idea what it has, but it sounds fancy if I say it in French. And you can tell a lot of the people who say it clearly don't know what they're saying. They're just saying something in French.
The extent of the French I know can be learned off of the old Disney movie, Beauty and the Beast. Plus, a little bit of time ordering food. And cooking.
Ugh.
What?
Between you and my, was it 9th or 10th grade history teacher, every time I hear Beauty and the Beast, I hear probably the worst line in the movie pop into my head. If it ain't Baroque, don't fix it. The candle should have burned the clock alive for that line.
Honestly, just hearing you say that was priceless. The look on his face, worth its weight in gold.
So will his scalp when I finish skinning him with axes.
But I didn't see anything bad.
I don't know, you probably deserve it. There's probably some pun somewhere that deserves the punishment.
But I didn't do it this time.
No, but you brought up the movie that did.
Alright, so here we are in the Quelaag's domain.
Yes, and these are the guys I was talking about earlier. They're like stage 3.
You actually only said that in the preliminary.
I did.
Too late to go over it now.
Yep. And we're about to walk into the boss for ultimately the longest, shortest boss fight so far.
I'm not sure what he means by this.
Well, it goes about as quickly as all the other ones, because it's pretty well the same strategy. The only difference is she puts up a little bit better fight, because she's actually a pretty well close-range fighter. Like, even the Capra Demon, even though that was technically the longest boss fight, because I actually had to fight him, like, 3 times. I beat her in the first run, it's just the time it's spent battling the boss is actually longer than the others. I just didn't have to repeat it. So it's both long and short.
Ah.
And there's absolutely nothing interesting to see about this particular boss.
Her face has, like, 6 sets of eyes on it, though. If you get the good luck at it. I did whenever the camera got stuck while she was trying to fight me.
Now all I see is I'd say the giant spider, but that's not actually accurate. I'm paying more attention to the red flames coming off, because that gives you a pretty good idea of where the attack's hitting. It's like the people who say, well, if I'm gonna make a character, I might as well make them, or if I'm gonna stare at my character's ass, it might as well be a female ass. And like, shouldn't you be looking like 2 feet in front of your character so you can see what's on the screen and where they're going, not your character's ass? It's a good way to get yourself killed.
I know someone who does that.
You've done it before.
I think only once. I stopped doing that whenever our game stopped being side-to-side scrollers.
Ah.
I get motion sick pretty easy. For those of you listening, that's a motorcycle.
If you can hear it. It may not be picking that up because we're actually speaking.
But then again, it might be. So if it does be heard, it's a motorcycle. If not, hey, you know, there's a motorcycle. So.
But I actually think her worst attack is probably the leap she does, because she leaps, and then she did the lava breath. And that is a very good way to end up getting yourself killed.
Oh, the 5 at a time lava blast?
No, not the 5 at a time. Basically, she did like a jump forward, and she landed basically so that you were caught between where the stream fires and where it lands. And so your first instinct would be to back up away from her when she's jumping, but sideways. Always sideways. But as you can see overall, that was only about a minute or 2 boss fights.
And you get the Quelaag's soul.
Yep.
Which can be used to make the Quelaag's Fury Sword. Or... what's the other one?
Probably a catalyst.
I don't think it's a catalyst.
I honestly don't know. I didn't make any of the weapons. I used them all to consume for experience or trade to ramped for experience, depending on which was more. And that's the second bell.
Yeah, this is about the time you start picking up souls that can be used for other things, and so I thought I'd, point out that they can be used for other things.
I don't do it in my build, because a lot of times the item you sacrifice to make the weapon, you'd be better off upgrading to like lightning or something than make into the weapon. If you're a completionist, then that, and if Integer feels like it, he can make a comprehensive boss soul weapon guide.
That'd be fun.
Just because items are his thing, and he especially likes collecting weapons he'll never use.
You should see my bottomless box. It looks like the inventory of a blacksmith.
Honestly, there's some blacksmiths that are jealous of his inventory.
I know that Andre of Astoria is. The first blacksmith of the game.
Yep. Let's see. I think I go ahead and show it because it wasn't very long and I didn't want to make a 3-minute video. But right here I'm going to descend into hell that's actually better than most of the hells I've mentioned before. The depths are actually worse than this, and this is probably actually hell.
Yeah. If you have the prowess to keep going this direction, you'll find a Capra demon and a whole lot of Taurus demons. I think the plural demon is demons.
I fight those.
I'm just saying, if you have the tenacity at this point to go up for it, you can.
If you've been following my build, you should have the tenacity to go for it, especially since you can pretty well lure all of the Taurus demon. I actually think I just wandered too close. I think I used this, and even though it may be in the next video that I do it, but I used to go up and talk to the sister.
Well, I mean, the tenacity, you have to be able to defeat the ceaseless discharge. Then you can go defeat Taurus demons.
Yeah, which is probably why it's the next video. Because the ceaseless discharge actually ended up being technically the hardest boss fight, if only because if you're actually out, pretty well every time I fought him, he's glitched to doing that fire blast over and over again instead of doing any of his other attacks. And so I can only fight him when hiding behind the rock cave. Like, I've seen builds where people, like, run over to the side and he, like, trips and you stab his hand. Me, he just gets close and does his fire breath repeatedly.
I've only managed to do that one time. But if you're a human, after you fight him, the first Capra demon, after going down the stairs there, you can get attacked by Nightkirk a second time.
Apparently.
And if you do that, again, you can attempt to get his stuff.
Yep. And going that way, you actually continue on to the, I think, Witch Queen Izalith's domain, or where you get one of the...
You can get the charred orange ring, the demon's catalyst, the sunlight maggot.
And if you have the Lord Vessel, you can get the soul from the Tree of Life or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Anyways, even though before we had gotten back to being short outros, this is a long one. So, I was Caydor.
And I still am Integer.
And this is us, signing off.